Can you hear me, Marie?
I can hear you now.
Awesome.
Awesome. So without further ado, I turn it over to Mr. Burt Kramer.
Thanks, Marie. Good afternoon, rock stars. Hey, I wanted to thank you for taking a few minutes from your busy afternoon to join me for what's going to be just a real quick overview of one of our new trainings, our Travel Agent Masters Weekend High Level Training Intensive. I am really excited to be with you, and I've got some great stuff to share. And if you stay with me until the end, I have an announcement and an offer that will make getting to Travel Agent Masters Weekend a whole lot easier. Plus, I have a couple of special guests that I've invited on the webinar to help answer some of your questions. So I think, yeah, we're started our recording. So here's what I want to do. I want to start at the beginning and give you a little behind the scenes look at how this training came about. You know, first, I'm like a lot of you. I always am looking to get the best training for my business so that I stay on the cutting edge of information and technology and business strategies. Well, about 4 years ago, I really made it my quest or my mission to uncover everything that I could to identify and uncover the secrets to building successful businesses. Now, I already knew the strategies that I've personally used to build a number of home-based businesses, each one that have generated over $1 million in sales and six-figure incomes. But what I needed to do was to see if this was just luck or if these were in fact the strategies used by other successful entrepreneurs. Well, each book that I read and every business coach that I consulted with kept reinforcing what I seemed to already know. And what I came to realize more than ever before was that the difference between a travel agent that's earning $5,000 a year and one that's earning a six-figure income wasn't where they lived or the clients that they work with. It wasn't their social status or their financial situation. What it came down to was knowledge. Make sure my slides are advancing here. Here we go. Um, if I can be completely honest, what really set me off and convinced me more than anything else to move ahead with Travel Agent Masters Weekend was that last year I personally attended a number of travel industry functions like the OSSN home-based travel agent forums. I did two of those, Cruise 360, and then the Mark Travel Summit. I love this photo. This was a great time, but it was at the summit that really it put the nail in the coffin for me. Like I said, well, this was a great event, and we had a just amazing time hanging out with some of you and our other great agents. We had a blast. We did some stuff off the property. I mean, it's Mexico. I mean, it was fun just being there. But quite frankly, the trainings were awful. And I purposely attended as many of the trainings that I could. And each class that I entered, I went in with these high hopes to learn something new and fresh and exciting, something that I could take back and implement. And yet each class left me feeling let down. At best, in my opinion, the trainings were beginner level overviews of some old information. Listen, in their defense, these events are put together by getting as many suppliers as possible to pay for as many trainings as they can. So they cut these classes down to 15 to 30 minutes to get more money from the different vendors. And they've got multiple classes that are going on at the same time, and you have to pick and choose which class, and it's a hit or miss. You don't know what you're going to get. Truthfully, these trainings end up being not a whole lot more than information that you could get by watching a webinar. Now, the other thing is that, the entire event is made up of agents with literally all levels of experience and time on the job. And truthfully, that makes it almost impossible to deliver relevant content and training. You know, and not just the summit, but a lot of these other events, with over 600 agents in attendance, you might as well as forget about getting anything close to individualized attention to your specific business needs. What's really disheartening is that many of you are agents. We realize this. You've got limited resources and you got limited time to get away and to get training. And when you drop the kind of money that you need to go to these events and take time off of work, you expect to get some return on that investment. So all of this set me off on a new mission to take my 14 plus years of working with literally thousands of our travel agents, along with my 30 plus years of business successes and some failures, but put this together in a system that can help literally anyone achieve extraordinary success as a home-based business owner. Now, if I can back up just a little bit, I already shared that I've invested in attending some of the same industry trainings that you have attended, and I've come away unsatisfied, leaving these things feeling like I want more. There, I could have got more. But over the years, I've also personally invested heavily in my own training, education, and my own business coaching. As part of this 4-year journey that I've been on, I've got to hang around with and learn from some of the world's top business marketers. And my little world has expanded rapidly as I gained even more insight and knowledge into how today's super successful businesses got to where they really, where they are today. Now, wait for this slide to come up. This is a photo of this past January. I was with David at Russell Brunson's Inner Circle Mastermind in beautiful Boise, Idaho. Now, this group, we meet 3 times a year. We come together to learn and to share our business struggles, our opportunities, and our successes among the other people in attendance at the group. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty elite group, as the cost of admission to this group really is $25,000 a year. And let me say that making the decision to invest that kind of money wasn't one that came easy for me. In fact, it was a huge struggle to commit to that kind of investment. But after the first day of our first session, let's see, back, I think last September or October, it was clear that I got a deal. I easily walked away with 20 times the cost to join the group. And that's on top of, the tremendous benefit that came with all of the connections and friendships that I made with some of these other business owners. By the way, in the shot there to the left of David and I is a photo. In the photo there is Justin and Tara Williams towards the end there. They're a great couple. They've got a little house flipping business in Southern California. They flip over 100 homes a year, and now they spend their time focused on teaching other young entrepreneurs how to do the same thing. They have also got a great podcast called the 8-Minute Millionaire, but don't go there now and check it out. Wait until after we're all done here. This is here's another coaching program that I joined a few years back. This is my good friend Rob Kosberg. This is his author Boardroom Intensive. Patricia and I flew out to Los Angeles last month for a weekend training with Rob and his partner Kevin Hudo. Again, what I've been able to learn from these different coachings and trainings, it's really almost impossible to put a price tag on. The nice thing about working with Rob is he's part of another coach, Taki Moore. He's part of Taki Moore's Boardroom at a cost of about $36,000 a year to work with Taki. So by me working with Rob, I get access to all of Taki's trainings as they filter down through Rob, which saves me $36,000 a year from having to join that group too. The point that I'm trying to make is that I'm a testimony of the immense value in investing in high-level business training and coaching. And I'm not proposing for you to do something that I'm not already doing myself. So, by the way, this is some of my notes. If you want to jot all that down from the training that we did with Rob. Again, it was an amazing 2-day training. Okay, so again, back to our topic. When I set out to develop this training program, what we're calling our Travel Agent Masters Weekend, I knew that I had to bring my A game, and I spent months refining the content that we would cover during this 2-day event. It absolutely had to be the best, most cutting edge strategies, techniques, and information that would deliver the biggest punch, get the biggest results for those that were attending. The event was also developed to be a small group. Even though our training room back at our corporate office, if any of you have been there, you know that, we could easily, pack in there 80 to upwards of 100 people, but I knew that we had to limit the size to be a small intimate group so that everybody got an equal opportunity to address and to cover their specific travel business needs. Now, after back and forth and thinking about this, and having done other trainings like boot camp and destination success, we really decided that that number needed to be 20. That seemed like the magic number, so that's what we decided to go with. Travel Agent Masters Weekend, so that starts on a Thursday evening with a social mixer, and we do this so that we can get to get comfortable with one another, and then after a good night rest, we hit it off early Friday morning with our opening breakfast session where we get right into things, and then we go from Friday at 8 o'clock until Saturday at 5 p.m. where we wrap up with a group dinner. And this is really, a great opportunity to just breathe and decompress from the 2 days of training and sharing. Now, of course, there's other meals and there's other breaks that are included in there too, but I just want to, emphasize that it's 2 days, 2 very long, solid days of going back and forth and and sharing information and discussing strategies and interacting with one another. So the goal of Travel Agent Masters Weekend really is to empower each agent to go from wherever you are right now to $1 million or more in annual travel sales. In fact, this is the launch pad to eventually becoming a $2 to $5 million a year agency. Again, the goal here is by the end of the event that each agent should be able to walk away with very specific actions that they can immediately implement in that first week once you get home and unpack, but then also a 60-day action plan and have a 6-month plan to get them zeroed in on their specific goals and what they need to do specific to their business. So here's some of what we cover at Travel Agent Masters Weekend. Believe it or not, we actually start off by sharing some of your goals and dreams surrounding your travel business. And again, we take the time here. It's new for some people, but we take the time to really get into this. We talk about identifying your limiting beliefs and exactly what it is that's holding you back from achieving whatever it is that you're looking to achieve with your business. We also talk about each agent's specialization and their niche, and we look at how best to capitalize on that specific niche. For many agents that attend this event, they're assured that they've chosen the right niche, but we've had other people, after going through this, they question that maybe they need to expand their niche, or in some cases, maybe they need to narrow that niche. We then get into your marketing and really hit home on identifying your attractive character and determining, what is your best platform and voice to deliver your message. We spend time to dig down deep and determine your specific unique selling proposition. We cover creating a killer travel agency brand. And again, do we need to tweak that? Is it, can it be adjusted? Is it telling your audience what you really need it to tell them? Then we get into building your travel agency sales funnel, and I was really surprised, and I shared this in a video a few days ago. This topic alone has proven to be one of the most talked about sessions at the event. For most people that attend this and people that we talk to on the phone that have signed up for the next event and that are considering doing this, for most people, it comes down to making some very strategic tweaks to their business. Others, though, require a full-blown overhaul, and still others, they just need help seeing the vision of them achieving long-term sustainable success in their travel business. But um, whatever you need to get you where you want to be, we take the time to develop a strategy to get you there. So I want to take some time now to just share a few things about what you get. Again, we bundle Travel Agent Masters Weekend into an experience, and you hear us refer to that often when we're talking about this. It really is, in addition to Thursday evening, it's 2 jam-packed days of intense business training. It's also an opportunity to interact with other successful agents. And, I've got this as my number 2 bullet point because I think this is one of the big things that agents get from being in a room for 2 days with other successful agents, is that just that opportunity to interact with them and see what they're doing that's worked, see what they're doing that maybe hasn't worked, and how they can tweak those things and apply it to their business. Of course, all of your meals and beverages and snacks. It's a typical KHM Travel Group event, so we're gonna overfeed you during this. You get our exclusive Travel Agent Masters Weekend gear and training materials. We also hold a post-event webinar between 45 and 60 days after the Masters Weekend event. Of course, we do a one-on-one strategy call after the event just to make sure that we're taking the time, me and you, to do whatever we can to zero in on exactly what you need to do in your business. And it's kind of an accountability thing too, to make sure that, when you walk away with your action plan, that you're actually on track and you're implementing those things that we discussed. We've also got some follow-up emails to keep you on track afterwards. And then there's something new that we're going to be rolling out for the next group. We've already started building this and should have it done, long before we begin our next event. But that's accessing our Travel Agent Masters Weekend membership website. And this has got all the links to the PowerPoint that we use, the additional training videos, documents that we share, links to some of our recommended resources. So, that's just a real quick snapshot look at what you get with this. So, as you can see, what I've shared with you, it's hard to put a price tag on this level of business training. Like Taki Moore, though, we could easily price this thing out at $36,000. Not sure how many would take advantage of that, but we certainly could have charged what Russell Brunson charges at $25,000, and it would be well worth it. Even the $18,000 that Rob Kosberg charges for his group would be a steal, but again, that's not who we are. We wanted to get as many agents, as many KHM Travel Group agents as possible to experience this type of training. So what we did, after going back and forth with our training team, is we decided to go with a $36,000. No, we're not going to do that. We determined that a fair cost for this would be $1,797. But because this is a new type of training for KHM Travel Group, we decided that we'd go with $1,297 for 2016. Again, we wanted to get as many of you into this type of a training as we possibly could. Now, we also allow you, which several of those that attended the last one did, is to bring a companion. This is either a spouse or a business partner or a sub-agent, and we charge an additional $200, to bring them along. By the way, that $200 doesn't even come close to covering the cost for that companion ticket. So here's how it works. If you've been to the website before, travelagentmastersweekend.com, you've already seen this. We collect a $100 application fee up front. Why do we do that? Well, we've got almost 4,000 agents, and we didn't want to be inundated with applications from people that just really weren't ready for this, or they weren't serious about this. So we collect a refundable $100 application fee that is 100% refundable if for some reason, we examine your application and we do the background and we determine that right now you wouldn't be the best fit. Maybe it's, you need to get to a boot camp, which is our 2.5-day training. We just completed one last week. Maybe that's better for you. So our commitment is that within the first 24 to 72 hours after you submit your application is to give you an answer back. And if you're approved, we collect the balance, $1,197. If you decided to go with the companion ticket, it's $1,397. That's the program. But we heard back from a lot of you that as much as you'd want to do this, you need some help here. So here's what we've come up with. We decided to go ahead and create a payment plan to try to make it a little bit easier to do this. So here's how that works. We collect a $100 application fee, same 24 to 72-hour turnaround. If approved, we collect $597. And then, and this is important, we collect the remaining two payments 30 days after the event. So we break that up into, two payments of $300, one 30 days after and one 60 days after. So we feel that that's going to hopefully allow more of you to experience Travel Agent Masters Weekend. And this is going to be the format that we're going to go forward with for the rest of 2016. But here's something that we wanted to do. We know we've got to get more people to experience this. We had, I think, 12 people registered, 11 that actually attended the last event back in January, and we came away with 11 raving fans that attended that. But we need more. We need more fans. So for the next event, which is coming up this April 14th to the 16th, we realize that's getting close in. Here's what we decided to do, and this is going to be a little bit of a surprise for some of our staff. We're going to take $200 off, and here's how we're going to do it. If you're approved to attend, instead of $597, we're going to collect $497, and those two payments of $200 or $300, we're going to make that $250. Again, 30 days after the event, and then 60 days after the event. Now, because this is new, and we just decided to do this literally this afternoon. The website may not reflect these prices yet, but you have my recorded voice here saying that if you decide to do this and you're approved, we'll collect the $497 and only the $497. After the event, after you come in and experience this, then we're going to set up to collect the $250 at 30 days after, and then another $250 at the 60 days after. You will not be charged anything more for that. So that's what I had to share with you. I've got some folks on the line here that I wanted to bring on to share some of their experience. But this is, as I have highlighted on this slide right here, this is for our April class only, which is going to be in our Brunswick corporate office. Many of you have been there. It's a great facility. We've got our corporate caterer who's headquartered right out of our office right there. We got lots of space there to stretch out. So, this is only for that class. Now, I don't have a slide for this, but our next class is scheduled for this June, but in Florida, which is where I'm based out of and where I'm at right now. So if you can't make the April class and take advantage of this, this $200 off, additional $200 off, then the next class is going to be in June here in Bradenton, Florida. Bradenton is a lovely community about 50 minutes south of Tampa, Florida. We've got two airports to fly into. We've got the Tampa International Airport, again, 50 minutes away, and then we've got the Sarasota Airport, SRQ, that's about 20 minutes away. And for some of you that may not be aware, we're in the process right now of finalizing our Florida office, which we're kind of hoping that that's going to be ready, but if it's not, we've got a plan B. And again, that's for this coming June. So with that, and with Marie's help, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite a couple of people onto the line that attended last January's Travel Agent Masters Weekend. We're going to start, and by the way, Karen and Regina, I apologize for these photos. I needed a real quick photo, so I just a screen grab off of the website. So let's start, if we could, Marie, with Karen. Karen, are you on the line? I'll give them a minute to unmute themselves. Bear with me, everybody.
Karen has been unmuted.
Karen, you there?
I am here. Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Karen. Well, you are a familiar face to a lot of our agents, and you're definitely one of our rock stars. And back in whatever it was, I think, what was that, November, December, when you emailed me and you told me that you and Mark wanted to come to the event, I was like totally pumped. I mean, it was great to have you there. And at the event, I did a little bit of a surprise that Karen had no idea was coming, and that was we actually used her business as one of the models that we taught on. We actually had some screenshots of her website and her branding and her business cards. So you were kind of surprised by that, weren't you?
I really was. I was shocked.
Awesome. So, I wanted to just ask you a couple of questions, and I know that you did a video testimonial that's on our website, but I wanted people to hear from you. What was it that made you and Mark decide to come to Travel Agent Masters Weekend?
Well, when you announced it, I was like, well, I don't want to miss out on this. One of the biggest things is, we've been asking for something like that probably for about the last year and a half. And so when you made the announcement, we were all over it.
So what would you say you came away, what was the most valuable thing that you came away with?
I think for us, it was understanding the importance and the value of marketing and my business in a way that saves me not only time but money, but time really being the big key factor.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you say to, because we got a bunch of people on the line. I was looking to see if I could see how many's on there, but it's not showing on my screen. What would you say to any of the agents that are on the line live on this webinar, or that will be watching the recording of this later on? What would you say to somebody who's on the fence? They're looking at the cost of an event like this, not just the cost to attend it, but shoot, the cost to travel there and and then to stay for the 2 days. What would you tell somebody that's in that position, that they're on the fence deciding if this is right for them?
Well, in life and in business, nothing's guaranteed except your crazy money-back guarantee that you offer. But I do know that if you work this business will work for you. So I think one of the biggest things is just preparing yourself, and learning how to put all these tools into place and work the strategies. And I've seen it firsthand since I returned back. I mean, I'm just amazed.
I know you've shared some of the email stuff that you and Mark have been working on, and I've been to your website and I've seen some of the changes that you've made there based on some of the recommendations. So that was pretty exciting to see. If you could, I think you've answered this, but if we would have offered this 2 years ago, would have you signed up 2 years ago?
Oh, definitely. I definitely would have. Yes, by all means.
You've been with KHM for how long now?
About 2.5 years.
Okay, good. So, any thoughts on, somebody, I mean, where does somebody have to be in your opinion? I mean, to the new agent, experienced agent, someone who's been on board 6 months? I mean, what's your honest opinion on that?
Well, I really feel that someone who has a grasp on this business, and I mean, I think we can be at all different levels, but yet someone who has a bona fide grasp on what's going on with their business, but maybe they feel like they need to take it to the next level. I mean, we can all be at different avenues in where we're at, but you have to determine for yourself, do I need more, do I want more? And
yeah.
I think that's a good question everybody needs to ask.
Awesome. I like that. Thanks. Well, hey, I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get to see you and Mark sometime soon. But thanks for coming on the line with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. And then Marie, we also have Regina. Is Regina on the call?
Yes, Regina has been unmuted.
Hey, Regina.
Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you all?
Hey, again, it was great to have you and Dwayne at the event. I think that Dwayne and I had met before, but real briefly. And for me, I know it was really good to be able to spend some time with him and to learn what all he's doing to help you with your business. And I didn't realize that he was. I think it's okay to call him a nerd, right?
Definitely.
He'd probably call himself a nerd, but that's good. Every couple needs a nerd. Hey, kind of the same questions for you. You've got a great testimonial video up on the website, so thanks for that. But what was it that tipped you over the edge? What made you decide to attend the experience?
Well, I have been at this for a little, 3 years, going on 4, and I knew I was a travel agent, and so I played at the game of being a travel agent. And it's kind of one of those things, you got to be careful what you ask for, because if you put yourself out there full force, You better be prepared to be a travel agent
Mm-hmm.
24/7. And I was kind of just in that limbo state, and I was like, okay, either this is, a hobby or a playing act, or it's a real business career. And I stepped out and said, this is going to be my business and it's going to be my career. So I needed what I got from this master's weekend from that. And I can say that, I came back totally focused on the fact that, this business is about growth, this business is about service, and this business is about me being not just a travel agent, but a business owner of a travel agency.
Well, you just kind of stole my next question, was how has your attitude or mindset changed since you came back? That's okay. Now, you are, this isn't the first investment you've made in your business as far as a big investment. I mean, you made the investment to go brick and mortar. I mean, you've actually got an office there where you live, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I mean,
And it's a great benefit.
that's a huge commitment, on your part. And then I also know that you may, and I don't know if this is because of Travel Agent Masters Weekend or not, but you may be shifting a little bit and working with more groups. You want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, my background in the past is an event planner. Did a lot of that work, and so I really came to the KHM wanting to do groups, but I realized I needed to gain a lot of knowledge and do a couple of things before I felt comfortable stepping out. And so going to the Master's Agent Weekend, I got that courage, I got that confidence, and I was reached out to, and I am going to be doing a program with a local financial institute where I will be doing their annual travel. We're doing one trip this year to get things rolling, and I'm presenting 3 trips to them for 2017 at a program in April. So they reached out to me because they had individuals who had traveled with me, and so things come at the right time. Master's
Yeah.
Agent came along, prepared me to take this next big step.
That's awesome. Hey, same question I asked Karen. What would you say to, again, like I asked Karen, that person who's they're on the fence. Maybe they've been to boot camp, they've been to Destination Success, maybe they've been to the summit or to the VCOM trainings. Well, I mean, this is different. I mean, this is clearly different. For one, it's not 600 people that are in an auditorium. I mean, this is, 20 people sitting around, a horseshoe table for 2 solid days going back and forth, but it's a lot of money. What would you say to that person that's on the fence, that's, is this right for me?
Well, Destination Success and the boot camps, they're about literally learning your vendors, learning process, learning about compliance and all those things that you need to run a business. But Master's Agent Weekend is about discovering yourself and what it is you want your business to be, how you want it to reflect you, and the services that you're going to provide the community and your clients.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, again, hey, it was great to connect with you. I know we chatted the other day on the phone. We still have to do our follow-up call, so let's get that scheduled. And, thanks, both you and Karen, for being on the line. Well, great. So what I wanted to do, you heard live from 2 of our great alumni from the event. So what I wanted to do is just to open it up to the audience for additional questions. And Marie, if you would be so kind to help me with those, because I don't know if I can see the questions.
No worries, my pleasure. I have one question coming in here. You and Karen both mentioned a guarantee, but you didn't mention what that guarantee was.
Oh, well, come on. If you've been to the website and seen my video, you've heard my crazy guarantee. And you know what? I picked this up from one of the coaches that I had worked with. And I tell you what, it's crazy for a reason. And here's how it goes. You see the price of Travel Agent Masters Weekend and the investment that it takes. If you come to the event and you take advantage of the full 2 days, training, and you come there and you eat our caterers, amazing meals, and you interact with agents, and at the end of the 2 days, if Saturday evening after dinner it rolls around and you don't feel like you've got not 1 time or 2 times a return on your investment, but if you don't feel like you've got 10 times in value the cost of admission, You tell me, and we'll cut you a check for your total investment for the event. So it's my crazy, money back guarantee. And I hope you get this. I hope that, people that are listening understand the burden's on me to deliver, exactly what I'm talking about, to deliver value that's going to maybe turn your agency around, take you from, $50,000 a year in travel sales to 100,000, or if you're at $400,000 a year to $1 million or more, or if you're sitting at $1 million a year in travel sales, I want to see it turn your business around and, and make you a $2, $3, $5 million a year agency. So that's my crazy guarantee, and it works, with this payment plan, it works the exact same way. So hope that answers that. What else?
Awesome. What about part-timers that work this about 10 to 25 hours a week as their business?
Well, I should have probably had someone else answer that question, but because I know what we talk about, I know what we deliver, I know the material, and for that person, it may be the nudge that pushes them over the fence, or it may be that light that goes on in their head, and they get that aha moment where they go, I can see myself, whatever, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road, being able to walk away from my, 40, 50, $60,000 a year salary job and work my business full time. So, I'd certainly want to see, somebody who's, part-time, have already had some successes in their business. But like I think both Karen and Regina said, you're just at a point now where you need something to push you over the edge, and you need something that's going to, just maybe change the way you're thinking about your business and, set you on the path to being in a position to do this on a full-time basis. But you certainly don't have to be full-time already. If you're part-time, that's great. Yeah, but we do want to have, people that have, been on board, they've had some successes. Maybe you've been to, our boot camp already. Good questions.
Awesome. I have a lot of people asking for those June dates, Burt.
I'll be honest, and I think I shared a little bit about this. We are hoping to have our Florida office open by our June class, which initially was scheduled for the 24th to the 26th of June. But as a backup, we had to have a backup plan in place, and the hotel that we wanted to use is booked, completely booked for that weekend. So right now, we're looking at what our options are. Is there another hotel in the area that we can keep those dates, or do we have to move it to, the weekend of the 10th or 11th or the 15th? So we're exploring that. Hopefully within the next 2 to 3 to 4 days, we will know. If you're on the fence, now remember the $200 additional off that we talked about, that's only for the April class. Once we fill up that April class, we're halfway there. Once that's filled up, that $200 is done. We're still going to do the payment plan moving forward, but this $200 additional off is only for the April class. June and beyond is going to be the $597 and then the 2 payments of $300. We're looking to maybe be back in Brunswick in August, but right now we're trying to fill the April. June is, we should have the dates out for that in the next couple of days. But if you're thinking of June and you want to make sure you lock in a spot now, I think we've already got a couple of spots sold for that one already. You want to go ahead and put in your application, and we'll announce those dates. If those don't work out, we can either refund your money or we can apply it to the next dates when we'll be back down in Florida. Because I know that the people that applied for the Florida one either live in Florida or somewhere in the states around Florida. So sorry, I don't have more specifics, Marie.
No worries. Also, we do have some of our April attendees on the call, and they'd like to know the structure of when they should have their flights to be here for Thursday, and also too, does the $200 offer that you just announced, will that be reflected in their price as well?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry. Truthfully, this was kind of last minute, right, Marie? I called you before the webinar and
yes,
I said, hey, so this may not be reflected on the website, and for anybody who's already applied for the April, yes, we're going to honor that, and you will not see the full charge. You'll see that the discounted charge. So happy to announce that for those of you who are already signed up for April. And again, just real quick while you're gathering your next question, Marie, again, we put a special website together at travelagentmastersweekend.com. It's right there on your screen, got some videos there, and then the application is at the very bottom of that page. There's also, I think, 4 or 5 different testimonial videos on there. So I know you already heard from Regina and from Karen, but we had several others that were gracious enough to give us some testimonials while they were at the event last January. So next question.
What time should they arrange their flights to be here on Thursday?
You know, last time I think our mixer started about 6 o'clock, 6:30. I'm not 100% sure what that was. We can talk to Beth about that. But we provide transportation from the host hotel, which, Marie, help me out, is Crowne Plaza. Is that right?
Crowne Plaza, yes.
Crowne Plaza. So we've got, you know, if you're flying in, you can get to the Crowne Plaza. We've got transportation already lined up to bring you from the Crowne Plaza down to the corporate office. We do this mixer. We've got some heavy hors d'oeuvres, and then we send everybody back to the hotel to get a good night's sleep, and we provide transportation back. And then, you know, the same thing the next day. We've got a shuttle that'll bring you from the Crowne Plaza to the office and then back again.
Awesome. And the price is only for the training. The price does not include the hotel.
Right. Now, we've got negotiated rates, I believe, Marie, I think.
Yes, we do have a negotiated rate. The hotel is normally going for $149, and we're able to have that for $91 per night.
Non-commissionable, though. I know somebody's going to ask that. Yeah, it's a negotiated corporate rate, so we don't have commission on that. So $91 for that there, right? It's not included in the price for the training, but all of the food, all of the training material, the what do you call it? The
transfers?
No, that's the word you use. That they give you at the Oscars.
Oh, swag bag.
The swag bag. Yeah, sorry.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, so
No
all
worries.
of that's included, but yeah, not your hotel, but we're gonna feed you. I think the average weight gain is what, 5 pounds from one of our events.
Something like that, yeah.
Good.
Dee Gilmore would like to say that the material that she was giving in January works, and you've got to work the plan. So she was very excited and happy to walk away with that great information from the January class.
Dee is one of our rock stars and another person who I was so excited when she emailed me to tell me that she was coming to the January class. So, and you know what, for those of you who didn't make it to that class, you know, you missed out, because Dee is just a fun person to be around. So I'm sure we're going to have fun people at the April class and the June class, but you missed out on Dee. Sorry.
For the Pinnacle agents who are currently on the line, I have a few asking them if their KHM cash is applicable to Masters Agent Weekend.
Marie, that's your wheelhouse. I don't know. Is that something that is possible for them to use, or?
You know, since we only have, you know, $2 million producers currently, I would love to see multiple more $1 million producers in that club. So anytime we can help, you know, get you into a training and we have that KHM cash available for trainings, that, you know, we want you to be able to use that to get to the trainings to increase your knowledge and increase your business.
So it sounds like that's a yes.
That would be a yes.
All right. So again, our first part of our system here is automated. So what we'll do is we'll figure out how much KHM cash that you actually have, and then we'll deduct it from those final 2 payments. Again, for the April it's $250, you know, and then for June and beyond it's the $300. But we'll figure out how much, you know, cash you've got, and we'll apply it to that to help reduce your costs. Good questions. Thanks, Marie.
Thank you. Hey, also too, we do have a question in from Carol. She wants to know if they need to bring their business plans in.
Well, and you know what? Thanks. I forgot to bring that up. Here's what we do is once you've paid your application fee, and you know, we go through the process of you know, of approving that application, then we send you out a link to a questionnaire, and this is quite a detailed questionnaire. It's all done online. We use SurveyMonkey to do that. It's, I believe, 5 or 6 pages in length, and depending on how thorough you get with that, it could take you It can take you an hour, 2 hours, depending on how thorough you are. And during that time, we ask you business plan type of questions. So if you've already got a written business plan, it'd be great to have that handy. We call it our, I think it's our registration form and business analysis questionnaire. So if you've got a business plan, it'd be great to have that handy as you go through that. It's just kind of like, part 2 of the application process, although we don't turn anybody down at that time. This just helps us to gather, detailed information about your business so that when you get to Travel Agent Masters Weekend, we already have a good picture of what your business is all about, and we can save a lot of time by having that business analysis, there in front of us. So, and we give everybody a copy of their business analysis too at Travel Agent Masters Weekend. But again, application fee, you get approved, you get an email confirming that, and the email is a link to the online business analysis and registration form. And then, you complete that, submit it to us, and then we make it part of the entire program once you get there. But good question.
Awesome. I have 2 final questions. One, I have an agent, Damien, who is currently doing about 30,000 in sales and doesn't know if this is quite a right fit for him yet.
Well, I'm not going to share who this was, but she'll know who I'm talking about. I had somebody from our last class who sent me a personal email, and she said, Burt, I want to come to Travel Agent Masters Weekend, but I've made 1 sale so far, and it's been to me. And we did the analysis of her business and spent some time on that and took a look at all of her marketing, her YouTube, her Facebook, her website, her emails that she was sending out. And based on that, we invited her to attend our last Travel Agent Masters Weekend, and I am thoroughly happy that we did that, and I'm pretty sure she is too, because we got so much from her and she was able to offer so much to the other people in the room. And I think it was the catalyst for her business to really turn things around for her. And so she went from near 0 in sales to, I believe she's going to be a pinnacle agent, if not this year, certainly by next year. So I hope that that answers the question. Just one caveat: if somebody is brand new, they've not gone through the training, maybe they haven't been to travel or they haven't been to boot camp, you may want to consider a boot camp first. But I'm certainly not going to turn anybody down automatically. I would say if you're unsure, invest $100 for to apply fill out the application. And truthfully, we don't want your $100 if you're not a right fit for the class. If this is not the right training for you, we will tell you in that first 24 hours or refund your money back, and we'll make some recommendations on what you can do to prepare yourself to maybe attend one of the next Masters Weekend classes.
Awesome. And then what are the qualifications to be qualified?
I think I've covered, some of that. It's not so much a certain dollar amount that we're looking for, although we look at that. The people that we've approved so far, we do thoroughly take a look at, their application, for one. I mean, the more thorough you are completing that, the more information you can provide us, the better that we're going to be able to make an intelligent, logical decision on our end. But we look at some other things too. So we'll head over and see what you're doing on Facebook. Do you have a business page, and what are you doing with that? And, what do your emails look like that you're sending out right now? And, we go into our notes, into, our KHM, our CRM of all of our agents, and we look at, your history. I mean, what kind of things have you done already? And based on all of that, we decide whether or not to approve somebody's application. So again, it's just not travel sales alone that we look at. Good questions.
Awesome. And then Elena would like to know how many spots are open for April.
Well, for every class, we're limiting them to 20, and I believe that we're near halfway filled on those. And again, this isn't my sales pitch, but those are going to go fast. The biggest hurdle that we had when we talked to agents on Facebook and through emails and them calling the office was, hey, $1,297, a lot of money to come up with this fast. Is there any way you can do some type of a payment? And we made a couple of people before this webinar. We made an arrangement for them, and that was it. That was what tipped them over the edge. And then now filling the April class and giving the additional $200 off. I mean, I'm just a realist. I know we're going to fill that up. I'm excited about that. We won't be back in our Brunswick office probably until August. And I know that after this, we're going to probably have people that are going to already start applying so they can come and get their spot locked in for August. But the next class after April's is going to be again here in Florida at our Bradenton office. So the spots are going to go quick. And I just don't want anybody to miss out. And really, we're not gonna take more than 20 people. One of the things that we heard at the very end of our last class was people really liked the size of the class, and I'm not going to cheapen the experience by having more people there or dilute the experience. So we really are going to cap it at 20 people total. Now it's 20 agents. We had a few more because we had some people that brought guests with them. Again, it's $200. It covers all of the swag and all of the meals. So we know April's going to fill out.
Awesome. And remember, guys, you are the most important asset you have. You are the most important tool that you have. And, investing in yourself is probably one of the best investments that you can do for your business. Not only, from what I heard from the other agents was how awesome the great information was, but learning from each other who's been in the industry for a while and taking away from everyone else in the class is invaluable. You can't put a number on that.
Yep. So real quick, as we wrap up, Marie, you can kind of look for any, lingering questions there. Again, the process, pretty simple. If you think this is for you and you think that you're ready to take this plunge and invest in this type of training, the first step is you head over to Travel Agent Masters Weekend. If you got some questions, there's an FAQ form on there. There's 5 different testimonial form from, I don't know, I think there's maybe like 7, 8, 9 different agents that, spoke on camera at the event. Go through those. At the very end there is the application. You check out, you pay your $100 application fee. It's going to direct you to another page. That application's relatively quickly. I mean, you should be able to finish that one in 20, 30 minutes. You hit submit, it comes to us. We then take the time to review that. We're going to go into our CRM notes and check you out a little bit, make sure that you're the perfect fit, and within 72 hours, we're going to send you an approval, or we're going to call you and let you know, why you weren't approved for this particular class. At that time, you're going to get your confirmation email that's going to have your link on there to the business analysis and registration form. And by the way, the registration form is just getting your information. Are you bringing a guest? Do you have any food allergies? Do you need your room booked with king or 2 doubles? I mean, it's that kind of stuff. That questionnaire is going to take you some time, so plan on at least an hour to go through that one. You send that back in to us, and then we're going to send you some emails just as you get ready to attend the class in April, just to prepare you for that. You're welcome to call the office. You're welcome to call me with any questions you have leading up to that. But it all really starts by heading over to travelagentmastersweekend.com and then going through that, filling out the application. So with that, Marie, any final questions?
That is it. I know that we have Tony who is looking forward to filling out her app, or her, yeah, I believe her. Sometimes spelling of names just gets me. Looking forward to put her application in. Awesome. And be one of your April attendees.
I'm so excited about that. Yeah, again, this is me, and I hit a slide. It was kind of a funny slide at the beginning. I was kind of on the fence whether or not I would share the slide, but I'm a really happy-go-lucky people. Anybody that's met me, but when it comes to this stuff, I take it very, very serious. I mean, people's businesses, their livelihoods are on the line, and I'm passionate about creating successful travel agency owners, and the time that we spend there, I am very conscious of our time and, making sure that we cover everything that, is in our syllabus, to cover. But it's a fun time, and I think it's a refreshing, rewarding, energizing time. So I'm pumped up, as you can probably tell, because I know that we're going to fill up the April class, and people are going to they're going to have to suck it up and come to sunny Florida for our June class. And if not June, then like I said, maybe back in Brunswick for the August class. So hey, if you've got other questions, I know I don't have it on the screen here, but if you've got questions you want to ask me directly, you're always welcome to call me. If you call the office, my extension is 2101. Call me anytime. But also, my email is simply Burt, B-U-R-T, at khmtravel.com. Once again, Burt, my first name, B-U-R-T, at khmtravel.com. If you got a question, you didn't feel like answering it or asking it live, or maybe you think about it afterwards, shoot me an email. But if you're ready, head over to travelagentmastersweekend.com and go ahead and fill out the application, and we'll be back in touch. So with that actually puts us at 60 minutes, Marie. I'm going to go ahead and end thing. And thank everybody for joining us on this webinar. And we're going to try to get a recording up here in just maybe an hour or so. I'll make it available on our website. And I think that GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar sends out an email. We'll try to attach it to that there, but it'll certainly be on our website or on our in the portal soon here. So again, thanks everybody, and we'll hopefully see you at Travel Agent Masters Weekend in April. Bye everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Burt. Bye, everyone.
Bye.